Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. Do you realize in this opening video how long it's going to be before we get to Super Mario Brothers? We're currently playing all the video games released in November 1982. We were last on the Apple II, attempting to play a space shuttle simulator. Didn't work out so well. Let's see what our next game is. Our next release takes us to Australia to play on the TRS-80, the original TRS-80, and this is Penetrator. Penetrator. Here is the box for Penetrator. Nice. I like the homemade feel of the box, like we're playing a real computer game. We even have a joystick. It looks like we're playing something for the future, too. Made up keyboard and everything. I love it. And on the back, you can see we got super sound, sharp graphics, Mission Impossible, destroy the enemies with some examples of screenshots. If you're only going to buy one game this year, then it must be Penetrator. Man, you got to love the marketing here in November 1982. It says Game of the Year is what they say on the back of the box. At this point, we've already seen so much brandished marketing and trying to people or ploys to buy video games that they can say whatever they want. High resolution graphics. They could even call this game in full color, and it would be on the box. It wouldn't surprise me. Oh, very nice. All right, other artwork we have for Penetrator. Besides the box, there's the ad you would have seen in magazines. Maybe that was the one, Curtis. Actually, I don't think so, because this is the one Melbourne House Software did. State-of-the-art game is what it says here. We'll see about that. And there's our 5 1/4 floppy disk. This one's done by Philip Mitchell. Way to go, Philip. This is the second game we've seen by Philip Mitchell. The other one was The Hobbit, the one for the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. Oh yeah, because this is Beam Software. And we do have a manual. How do we play some Penetrator? I'd love to know. This shouldn't be confused with Defense Penetrator that's on the TRS-80. This is first on the TRS-80, and then some other home computers after that. Is our 136th game we played for the original TRS-80, either Model 1 or Model 3. You are the sole survivor of a fighter squadron whose mission is to invade the enemy defense forces and destroy their illegal neutron bomb cache. It's highly dangerous. Of course it is. And we're the only ones that can save the day, I'm sure. We have to penetrate each defense ring, blow up the illegal neutron bomb store. Once you've done that, return through 4 defense rings. Oh, nice. So it's Scramble-like. You can see example, not really a screenshot. It's more of a fabrication showing us the ship, score, and what everything else is. I just need to know if we have fuel and how do we blow that up. There it is. Ground missiles, flying missiles, radar base, neutron bomb, and there's our controls. We have up and down movement of our fighter plane. Minimum height is determined by the terrain. Oh, okay, so we just have to make sure we don't crash. Due to the forward momentum requirements of your fighter, you cannot stop the plane because it's auto-scrolling. It's possible to control your thrust and braking by the use of the forward and back arrows, but note that these can only be imposed for limited periods. Thrust involves holding down the forward arrow key. What? Wait a second, does that mean no? Firing involves pressing the right, oh my gosh, so that means the key to fire and the key to move forward or direct your craft is the same thing. It says if you hold it down, the forward arrow key, you'll get thrust instead of firing. Oh my gosh, why did they do that? This is crazy. And then we have the bomb chute as well. I guess that is, okay, that must be the normal. And we do have joysticks. We're going to plug those in, but I don't know because we have to jiggle the joystick, it says, to the right if we want to move the missile launcher forward. Otherwise, we'll get thrust instead of firing. This already sounds confusing, and this is coming from the manual. No, wait, look, and it is Atari VCS joystick because if you have the adapter, you can play that on your original TRS-80. There's some dangers to watch out for. Just pause the screen and make sure you know about all the dangers because I will not be reading through all of them. We just like to go guns blazing here on Chronologically Gaming. I know, after explaining games for so long and reading manuals, I actually debated if I wanted to make this part of the show or not. And sometimes the manual reading does, bring the thing down. But we aren't, the pace of the show is meant to be, let's play some games, but I do like to show at least how these people explain the video games right now in November 1982, rather than hearing it from myself. Oh, wow, they're breaking down every stage in the manual. This is awesome. And then stage 3 is extremely dangerous. Nice. Yeah, you can see they're putting lots of levels in for a Scramble style game. Stage 4, excellent. And then we've got some strategies in the back. Well done for the manual. That's awesome. up and down arrow keys as well. That's so cool. So this was done originally by Beam Software in Australia. It's the 7th game we've seen by them. Some of the biggest ones that they've done up to this point. We started off with some Sinclair ZX80, not 81 games by Beam Software, and then they did Strike Force, which is awesome. Really, really good. They also were involved with Hungry Horace and Horace Goes Skiing. So we know that they do some pretty good games. And then we have all training simulations. Wait a second. This is a long manual. There's more to this than just playing a game. They have, wait a second, customizing Penetrator. Yes, Penetrator allows you to create your own levels. That is impressive. That is awesome. Removing, oh yeah, this explains it all. So you can make your own Scramble game. Way to go, Philip. Oh, and they have music by Ken Schroeder. Way to go, Ken, too. And then there's the ad at the back of the machine like that. All right, so let's pop it and play some Penetrator. This is Philip Mitchell and Beam Software and Melbourne House. It is November 10th, 1982. Not on MS-DOS. All right, I want to penetrate. Wait, no. Penetrate that. That's what I want to do. This is the 23rd game that we've seen published by Melbourne House. And this is pretty impressive that we have a map editor. I got to see this to believe it. Wow. Oh, it is the same game. Very nice. Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, so this is nice. The presentation's doing the draw-in of the title. I feel like I should be marking the video games that have done this because some of them get wild. They're very, very nicely done, like this one. It's custom text, and it matches the front of the box. Whoa. Way to go, Philip. You've assailed our ears. Can we... Oh, there we go. Then we got the instructions. You can do 1 or 2 players, but you don't play at the same time. You have to take turns. But the big stuff is we have a training mode, a single-player training mode, and we have a landscape editor, and we can save our own levels or games for this. That's what makes this big. All right, I'm going to go in with a 1-player game. Music already sounds awesome. we're off to the races, apparently. All right, so there's my bomb. Now, oh my gosh, it's true. So the bomb does work. I'm using an Atari VCS joystick with the adapter on this, and so this means whenever I push the red button, I'm firing the bombs. To fire a laser forward, though, I have to give the joystick a little bitty jiggle to the right to fire. Otherwise, it's going to move the ship forward. So the control is not ideal, but this is the best they could do because they only have 1 button if you're for joystick controls. They should have had a way that you could play this with keyboard without having to have the same control scheme. Like if I want to fire forward, though, I got to be swift decision. See, I'm holding and moving. It does give you a little bit of range to move around. In the top right of the screen, that bar is my fuel. And so I really need to find out which one's the bomb for... Gosh, yeah, the control to shoot forward, though, is not as good as the other Scramble games we played up to this point. Oh, yeah, Sea Dragon. Yeah, we saw that one also in the TRS-80. But just like I said with every single Scramble game, even with the controls, I still want to know, how many levels do we have for this? How far does it go? Do I give it a little wiggle? Yeah, there you go. So you just have to get used to... Okay, so it's a different way to play because essentially you just give the controller a wiggle and that's going to fire your bullets forward. Okay, and it is responding. It's just very different. There you go. Like I want to do that. Yeah, and you just keep wiggling and it works. It works great. I saw a jank. Actually, this is pretty fun. For right now, this is great, especially going from level to level. Missiles are going to get the best of me, though. So cool. What really sets this over the top is the level editor. The fact that you can make your own Scramble games. This is the 15th video game we've played that allows editing or making your own maps or levels. Some of the big ones that we played are like Starfleet Orion, Pinball on the TRS-80 color computer, Ghost Hunter, Dark Castle game system, Casey's Crazy Chase, Night Mission Pinball, or the arcade machine allowed you to make your own Galaxian games. But this is not the first Scramble game to do that. We've seen the game called Pegasus 2. That was the very first one that allowed you to make your own Scramble-like levels. And the editor for that one, I would say is a little bit better than this one. Not that I've, dived too deeply into each one. It's still just amazing that you have the ability to do that. And, oh man, I just want to keep going and keep playing. Yeah. And it's fast-moving, but at this point, you got to know we played a lot of Scramble. This is the 50th Scramble variant we've seen across all systems, all over everything. And so, they got a little bit of the tunes on the end. I'd still say Sea Dragon takes the cake, even for the TRS-80 version of that. But man, we play some really, really good ones at home. So it's not like it's breaking new ground to play a Scramble game like this one, but this one's still very good. Yeah, on the Model 1, man, so nice. We could be playing this on the Model 3 too, but I'm trying to keep it as classic as long as I can because eventually we're not going to see as many original TRS-80 games. Oh no, I didn't think I was going to get out of that one. Now, if we have game over, I bet we start all the way over. Sound is done very well. We've already seen since Big Five Software started to make games on the TRS-80, they've pushed the limit and now everyone else wants to follow suit. Okay, so cool. Put in your name. That's awesome. And then it puts their high score right on the front when it draws Penetrator. That's pretty cool. So this does allow checkpoints, but it doesn't allow a continue feature. So you notice that when I was dying on certain levels, it saved that level and I could keep going. But once you're out of lives, that's it. You're back at the beginning again. So we're going to see this later on the Commodore 64, the Micro B, and the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. As far as the game itself, it's actually very good. I'd say above average already. Because of the editor, though, that pushes it over the top even further. Yeah, decent game for everything you can play right now on all home computers. I want to keep going. It is a lot of fun. So that was a quick taste of Penetrator that you can be playing right now in November 1982 for your TRS-80. Since we're rating this against all the computers all over the world at this point, it's got stiff competition. It's not exactly average, but because of the editor, I got to bump it up and say it's better than that. And it is a game you would want to play longer. The joystick control is another good point. Yeah, I'm looking over the chat. I see lots of 3.5 stars, which is some of the 4 with the editor, right? I'm actually with you there. I would say it's a 3.5 already by itself, considering all the other games you could play on home computers. But I'm going to go one notch up and say 4. Play this and Pegasus 2, and you can kind of see the difference between editors for Scramble games right now. And Pegasus 2 was on the Apple II only. All right, so that's Penetrator. Let's see what's next on our releases. We're next going to go and play on MS-DOS. This is Pac Man. Not real Pac Man. It's just Pac Man, but not official Pac Man. All we got for this one is a few screenshots, and I actually have no idea who did this one. So we're going to have some fun figuring out. Maybe someone could tell me who did this. Let's pop in and play Pac Man for MS-DOS, or PC Booter, or PC-DOS, or all the above. Nice. That was 2001: A Space Odyssey, I think. Wait, where's the Pac part? I'm just a circle. I can get the power-ups at least? That's nice. They're trying to use every tone on the PC speaker, I think. Or is that Close Encounters of the Third Kind, maybe? Yeah, where's our mouth? We're not munching anything. We're just a circle. What you really need to do for fun is play this version with a higher CPU, or a better CPU, and watch how fast you go. Oh, I forgot. I got to pick up a power pellet before that. So this one is only on MS-DOS. I'm sure you guessed that one. It is our 123rd game we played for MS-DOS, PC-DOS, or PC Booter as of right now. And it works, but there's something off about it. Something's weird about it. It does kind of feel like I'm playing Simon. Hey, there's cherries. I think that's all we get, though. There's no other fruits that we could see or play as. Oh, we died again? Darn. So this one is a freeware game. It's public domain. It came out public domain. It may have been on a bulletin board system, but actually I believe it was bundled with some software with MS-DOS. So you got this free. This is the 58th game that we've played so far that you could have a... can I go again? S, W... Does it not let me keep going? So we've already played some free public domain games up to this point. Do we have to quit and come back? Oh, all right, we'll quit and come back then. I wasn't done yet playing the jank. Let's do it again. And like I said before, I have no idea who did this one. This is the 14th game we've played that's by someone that we don't even know who it is. And by the way, it just goes right into the game. I didn't have a minute to think about it. And I believe we're going to see official Pac Man for MS-DOS around 1983. And there's another unofficial Pac Man that we'll be playing before we end the year. Oh man. Gotta love those CGA graphics, though. Oh, yeah, it's rough, though, around the edges, because this is keyboard controlled only. I'm using the number pad to move around. That's only keys. And this is an unofficial port of Pac Man. This is the 43rd unofficial port of any video game we played up to this point. But what I mean is a video game that has the same title, but it's not the real game. I don't think I can clear a whole screen to see if there's other... I'm pretty sure there's not any other maps, though. Gosh, the sound is so bad. Yeah, right. You made it look like Pac Man. Well done. Yeah, so official... There's been other Pac Man games that have not been official. Like, they did one called Pac Man for the Commodore VIC-20, and they had to rename it to Jelly Monsters. I did it! We didn't really get anything after that. And then we also played Pac Man. Wasn't a real Pac Man on the Commodore VIC-20 as well. I like the PC speaker on this one. So this one is not official Pac Man. It is the 113th variant of Pac Man that we played on all systems all over the world so far on Chronologically Gaming. And if you think this is bad, if you think this is a pretty bad game, it is not. The worst Pac Man game that we played so far still is on MS-DOS. It's Gobble Man. You can't be worse than Gobble Man. And this is not worse than Gobble Man. It's also not worse than the Pac Man Trail that we played on the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. It's also not worse than Micro Maze that we played on the Jupiter Ace, or Gobbler on the ZX Spectrum by Saturn Soft, or Gobbler on the Atari Home Computer by the Ace Newsletter, Atari Computer Newsletter, or Apple Bug on the Commodore VIC-20. That one was pretty broke. So this one does not take the cake. I'm sorry to disappoint everyone that wanted the worst Pac-Man. It is not. I've even looking over the chat. I have lots of different ratings. I got 2.5, 1.5s. Lots of different people, when they see the game, you have to play it for yourself because it is keyboard controlled only. But it's another unofficial Pac-Man, and this version is very simplified, like single fruit items, and you can get some more information online about it. But I'd like to know who did it. I don't think anyone in the chat said who did this Pac-Man. The basic source code of this game was something part of MS-DOS itself, and it was included alongside the compiled game. So I would say this is a game lower than Scarf Man that we played on the TRS-80 and the Coco, and a little bit lower than Snack Man that we played on the Commodore VIC-20, somewhere around that range. So I'm actually looking around 2 stars. If I think of all the games you could play across all home computers, it's not that bad, but it's still around the bad range. See a nice one, Brian. Yeah, so I'll say 2 stars. Of all the games you could play across all home computers right now, Pac Man is that one. And we got another one we'll see before we finish 1982. So much fun. All right, let's see what's happening in Japan after this commercial break. Oh my gosh. Yes, the multi-screen. Oh, haven't seen that one yet. There it is.
Donkey Kong オイルパニックとマルチプルにドッキングゲームウォッチマルチスクリーン4種類
On second thought, let's not go to Japan. It's a silly place. This is Mickey and Donald for the Nintendo Game & Watch. Released right now. Let's check out the box. Oh, the brand new Mickey and Donald. This is our 22nd game we played on the Nintendo Game & Watch thus far. It is the multi-screen series, and this is the 3rd game on their multi-screen series. Oh, Nintendo. Imagine a world where Nintendo had only done 40 games or been a part of 40 games. This is the 40th game that we've seen on Chronologically Gaming by Nintendo. Oh, it's like all the other ones, but it's just so good. Nintendo did a great job with these handhelds. Really not too much on the back, at least for that box. What other artwork do we have for Mickey and Donald? At this point, Nintendo has 15 games they've done in the arcade. They've done Donkey Kong at home on the Atari 2600, ColecoVision, and Intellivision, and then everything else is the Game & Watch or the handhelds. But that's it. That's all of the games that Nintendo's done. Just crazy to think of that. At least that's what it is right now. Okay, so we got a different back of the box if you were in different regions, because eventually this was released in other regions, but kind of limited because Disney did not want this to go to North America. So if this doesn't look familiar, you may not have seen this because it stayed mostly in Japan or on the other side, not in North America. Disney said you can release it in certain regions, but not in the United States. All right, explains how to play here with a little card that came inside the box, which is a nice touch. There's the system itself, and we're going to see that too, with a closed case, and then the logo, and then open case as well. Great package. It's Nintendo Game & Watch. Yes, the brand new Nintendo Game & Watch. Let's see how to play. So here's the instructions. I found one in English so we can actually translate it and play it. Here's the different parts. They explain what everything is right here above my head. Wait, Goofy's in the game too? That's awesome. So it's Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck. This is Mickey Mouse's second video game that he's been in. And Walt Disney has done video games. This is the 6th game with Walt Disney on the logo. Imagine a world where Walt Disney only has 6 video games. Mickey Mouse is one of the Disney Walt Disney games. Tron Deadly Discs on the Intellivision and the Atari 2600. Tron Mazatron, and that's it. As far as Disney games, this is Donald Duck's very first video game, or a video game that Donald Duck is in. This is it. It shows us how to insert the batteries there, set the time, because it is a Nintendo Game & Watch. This is one of the first units that you had a little stand in the back that you could display the time. You can also set the alarm there. And then how to play is the building's on fire. Donald Duck's on the roof trying to put out the fire. Goofy's working the water pump. And Mickey is patching the holes. So it's 3 different characters, even though you're controlling 2. You're controlling 2 characters at the same time. It's played on 2 different screens. And unlike Donkey Kong on the Nintendo Game & Watch that uses the really cool directional pad, look at the control scheme. It's like they took the directional pad or the D-pad and they split it into 2 parts. You have it up and down and a left and right. Very bizarre why they did that. But it explains the beginning of the game. You can do Game A or Game B. Game B is for beginners. Game B is for the pros. It takes coordination and timing, it says. All right, so when the fire reaches the roof, it burns Donald's tail. Nice. And if one score misses, okay, so it's very, very reminiscent of the other Nintendo Game & Watch games. How long can you last is the name of this game. There's the operation of the control buttons. Goofy automatically starts pumping water. Mickey has to keep ordering Goofy to work. Otherwise, Goofy slows down. That's hilarious. And then you can see what you'll be controlling Mickey. So you're controlling Mickey to order Goofy what to do, and then patch the holes while Donald's at the top trying to put it out. No, that was not Donald. It kind of looked... No, I mean, it really kind of looked like... It was just a duck. It was not Donald. And then if you do it right, then Minnie Mouse comes out and hugs Mickey, because Mickey gets all the credit even though Donald was doing most of the work up there. Poor Donald. So they got some more information in the manual there. Cool. It says it was printed in Japan. Did Japan print that in English? I'm wondering. All right, let's put in the palm of our hands Mickey and Donald by Nintendo Research and Development 1. It is November 12th, 1982. So I blew this up really, really big. Only Chronologically Gaming has the guts to stream a Nintendo Game & Watch game. We got LCD graphics. We got the overlay to assist. This is what it looks like before you even begin. You know, remember seeing this view when you played handhelds? Everything will be on the screen until you hit reset, or when you hit whatever game you want to play. It's really nice that this game has a little bit of cutscenes too. And obviously this is another licensed video game. I'm going to start tracking every licensed game because they're starting to pick up more and more licensed style games. All right, let's do Game A and go. At the top of the screen, Mickey is ordering Goofy, go, go, go. And right now at the top, when the water gets there, I can move left and right and start dousing the flames. And you can watch the water that Donald is bringing down. I did it. And then you get a little fanfare, and that's it. That mode's done. So we didn't have any leaks that Mickey needed to take care of. Now here it comes. Get the water to drip down, and you can follow it to the bottom side. So, oh wait, we got a hole. Okay, Mickey's got to patch it. Nice. Keep going. Oh, we got another hole. Patch it, and then get the water to come back. You have to keep Mickey at the bottom to make sure Goofy continues to pump the water. But there's a lot going on with this one. It reminds me very similar to Oil Panic, but I actually would enjoy Oil Panic more than this. This one has more of the appeal of playing as Mickey and Donald, because that's... Uh-oh, I think we lost it, right? It feels like one of those games that the end is inevitable. I will lose eventually. Because once there's a hole in the kink of the hose, you lose all the water. And you got to get Mickey down. And if you look at the bottom, that's why the control is a little bit different. We've never seen anything like this, at least on any system, where you have control of two characters, but they're splitting the directional pad into two parts. There's only been one game so far that uses the classic Nintendo directional pad, and that's Donkey Kong for the multi-screen series. Oh gosh, yeah, right? Yeah, this is a firefighting game. It's the 11th video game we played with a firefighting theme. Uh-oh, I think Donald's going to burn again. Yes, he falls off the side. Nice. So lots of firefighting games out there. We're going to be rating this one based on all the handhelds you could play right now. I still say that one of the best ones you could play is Donkey Kong, the multi-screen game. This one's around the same level as Oil Panic, maybe even a little bit less. But another really good one we played was Tron, which was a handheld that allowed you to almost like go to another screen after this. It's pretty nice. So thanks for playing that quick taste of Mickey and Donald. Yeah, it is more challenging, so I wouldn't say it's as much fun as Oil Panic. There's a lot going on with this one, especially when you expect Mickey and Donald to be something easy. So for handhelds, this series of handhelds is already a big collector's item. When Donkey Kong came out, it was too good. 5 stars for all the handhelds you could play right now in November 1982. Oil Panic's still up there. There's a few others that are up there, but I would say for handhelds, it's around 3.5 to 4 stars of all the ones you could play. Looking at our handheld fans in the chat, I see some 4s. 3.5 or 4s. Yeah, way to use the 2 screens with the water dripping down. Yeah. Maybe a 4. Yeah, that's true. I'm going to say Oil Panic is better, so I'll say 3.5 stars for Mickey and Donald. It's also a rarer or harder one to find than all the other Game & Watch, Nintendo Game & Watches. It's still great to see the humble beginnings of Nintendo, and I'm excited for more. All right, after that, let's see what our next game is. We're next going to play on the Commodore VIC-20. This is Aggressor. I told you this was coming. Does anyone remember? It's time to play Aggressor. Starting with the box. This is the United States or North American release of games we've already seen. It was first Defenda. Then it was Andy's Attack, where we're rescuing llamas. And now in North America, it's Aggressor. Wow, is that a blatant ripoff of the X-Wing or what? Yeah, that's right, Brian already called it too. This is our 311th game we played on the Commodore VIC-20, all over the world. Aggressor, it's the year 4370 AD. Whoa, we're going to go way in the future. Mankind formed one of the mightiest galactic civilizations. We have to defend them, or defend everybody. When they released this in North America, it was released by Human Engineered Entertainment, or HES. They released it on cartridge, this cartridge. This is the 12th game we've seen that HES had anything to do with, or human engineered software. And there's the example of the screenshot. You've seen this one. It is available also in PAL regions too. Let's pop it and play Aggressor. Originally by Jeff Minter and Llamasoft, published by HES here. It's November 15th, 1982. Prepare your ears. Oh yeah, gotta love Jeff Minter. This is the 16th game we've seen by Jeff Minter and the 13th that we've seen by Llamasoft so far. All right, you pick your skill level, just pushing numbers, but I'm just going to start with skill level 0 and press fire and go. And we're here. This is a rare case of a localization change where they reskinned the game. You usually don't see that too much right now. They took essentially Andy's Attack, removed all the llamas, and put some random aliens at the bottom. Changed your ship around a little bit, but all the crazy sound effects are all here. it's a shoot 'em up, but if you think of this as Scramble, it's not. I can move the joystick and flip, and boom, we have a defender-like game. What I want to know, though, is if they do the same they did with Andy's attack. Oh, there's the Mutoid. We're getting ready for the next wave. On Andy's attack, when the llama fell down, you couldn't collect it and make it safely land. It just automatically landed safely. It looks like it's basically the same thing, though. I don't think they improved so that we could pick them up. Oh, we're dying really fast. I don't think anyone's ever said that, Mark, about the sound effects. Most people say this is the reason why they need a hearing aid. But if you stop shooting, you notice how silent it is? It's the one shot, and then we go with the... Oh, we got another Mutoid on us. I don't have a way to switch my speed either. It feels more like I'm just going with the flow until I decide to turn around. But the big flaw with this game, and I've said this before with Defenda and with Andy's attack, there's no radar. When you play Defender, it's really helpful when you have a radar to see what the landscape looks like. It does sound like pinball sounds, right? So it's another shoot 'em up. It is the fourth game that we played that they have reskinned for a different region, and there's very few of these. Showdown in 2100 AD was a reskin game. Star Raker was Sega's arcade game they reskinned for European markets, and then one we played recently, Pirate Pete, completely reskinned game in other regions instead of Jungle King. I guess that would make Jungle Hunt a reskin too. Alright, so there we go. It's Defender. It's the 38th game we played that is a Defender-like game. It does allow you to temporarily save the high score for the game, but there's much better games that are Defender out there that'd be pushing the envelope. Oh, it is nice. So there we go. We played 3 versions of the exact same game. Defenda, we've played Andy's Attack, and now Aggressor. I would say this is exactly the same as Andy's Attack right now, whatever region you're in. And so I'll still say, of all the games on all home computers, this is 3 stars. Wow, look at that. I've never seen a okay, it was almost unanimous over there in the chat. 3 stars for Aggressor. What a night. Okay, it's time to put our video game playing on pause, or put down that handheld, close the screen. We're still going to continue playing every single video game all over the world, all systems, in order of release. If any games are missed anywhere, on anything, maybe handhelds, because it's really tricky to get handhelds to emulate or showcase here on Chronologically Gaming, so we do our best. When we don't get a chance to play handhelds, what we do is we look in the magazines, and the magazines have a few things or snippets about the handhelds. But that's one that I'm sure we're dropping the ball on. Lots of handhelds out there. So next time on Chronologically Gaming, I guess Jeff Minter did get aggressive this episode. But next time we're going to be traveling to the Alpines on our Texas Instruments home computer. And forget Robotron 2084, we're traveling to the far future of the year 3000. That's it for today, and like I always say, is there anything sweeter than color graphics adapter? Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we missed any games along the way. This video would not be possible without Launchbox, RetroArch, and MAME. Tell all your friends there's some crazy guy named Chronologically Gaming trying to play every single video game. We have links down below that'll send you to places like our Discord and Patreon, and one that says all the video games we've ever played. If you go there, it's a list of everything, and you can click right to the game you want to see. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We are perpetually retro, and we will catch you next time.